Hello Capricorn, welcome in. Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning in to the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, we have several cards coming out for the overall energy. Interesting. Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Beautiful. You walked away from some type of emotional attachment. It looks like you walked away from... Oh, there's a bird in my bird feeder. Hi. I've got a new window feeder on my window here. And so I get to watch the little birdies when they come in. This is the second time while doing a reading they've showed up. So, all right. You walked away from some type of emotional attachment and really put in the work on yourself. Really had to work to get yourself out of a financial pickle, out of a financial difficulty. You didn't want to abandon yourself, abandon something. Very interesting. Feels like after you left a situation that just wasn't fulfilling, there wasn't enough there for you. Wow. Wow. Capricorn. All right. It feels like whatever you worked on, you achieved a certain level of mastery, so you aren't abandoned, so you aren't feeling left out. You have the Empress and Judgment, an awakening. It feels like your divine feminine is awakening. Capricorn, it looks like you had to leave an environment that was not soul-fulfilling. You put in the work on yourself, in life, so you wouldn't, it's like you stopped abandoning yourself. And so now you're having a divine feminine awakening. Holy cow. Wow. Okay, let me kind of tune in psychically to these energies. Wow, you're reconnecting with your feminine energy in a very powerful way. Waking up to how powerful, how subtle, more subtle energies as well. A more natural way of showing up. Nature, you are nature. Like the bird showing up here, you are nature. You're not in nature or out of nature. You are a part of nature. It feels like you've been connecting more with your feminine energies, attuning to Earth, Gaia energies as well. Feels like you're tuning into cycles and patterns that the Earth is going through, since you are a part of nature. If you're in the northern hemisphere right now, then you just like the beings, plants, animals in hibernation, maybe rotting. It feels like moon cycles and understanding your cosmic alignment. But a lot of you are opening up to being an extension of Source, that you are an extension of Source, that we all are an extension of Source. So there's, in owning your femininity, there's a recognition of our connectivity. Wow. Holy cow. Okay. For some of you, it looks like by healing and awakening to your divine feminine, what's coming to the surface are some shadows, feminine wounds. It feels like they're family wounds. The gift that keeps on giving. It feels like there's been a lot of injustices. It's a legacy, this feminine wound, and it's been a challenge to find justice, find balance in your experience. Feels like it's been hard to cultivate these feminine connections because of toxic feminine traits. It looks like you have a real opportunity here to shift within yourself and create a legacy that you leave behind. Pattern breaker. Breaking generational curses. Feels like you are here, if you choose, if you want this experience, to be able to feel that wound, be able to feel it within you, to be able to perceive this hurt. As I'm tuning into your family's energy, generations, it looks like a story of oppression and survival by feminines in your family through patriarchy, oppression, a lack of care for females. That there's been a lot of woundedness where the feminine in your family line has done what they could to survive oppression. And it feels like you're primed to feel this, feel that pain, own your part in it, unwittingly or wittingly, that you have participated, not so you can be blamed or shamed, but to own that. If you don't, you can't change what you can't perceive, what you don't perceive. And you don't really change the world around you. What you have control over to change is within you. So the challenge is being willing to see these aspects within you. There's a need to learn as you go, to recognize you didn't, understanding that maybe in the past when you were less conscious, you made moves with a lack of care for others, not understanding how your actions impacted others. It feels like what I'm perceiving here, Capricorn, is a real potential to own your shadow. And like the Queen of Wands, she learns as she goes. She follows her desires and her passions. And in the original image, there's a black cat that she puts out in front of her. And in the time that tarot was created, black cats were considered bad luck. And yet she puts it out in front. This is who I am. There's something about owning all aspects of self that makes the Queen of Wands so charismatic. Someone that is safer to be around. You're drawn to because she can have all sides of herself, and so she can master and direct her shadow and her light. And this creates Six of Wands success, being on your high horse, understanding that to be yourself is not just good or light, but that you are made up of dense, dark energies and light. And that when you accept both sides, all sides, you heal and move forward very quickly with a lot of success. Feels a lot lighter on the other side of having this about yourself. More joy, believe it or not. Instead of feeling like you're going to get caught or someone's going to see this about you, or trying to hide something from yourself, which takes up a lot of energy. It feels like when you own this and create enough space within yourself that you can have uncomfortable truths about yourself, then you are freer, you are lighter. You make space for an understanding. I have shadow aspects. All right, moving on, Capricorn, to what's hidden. We have the Five of Cups in reverse. Feels like there's been some grief, some great loss that has really affected you. And there's a need to heal from the loss, heal from the 3 cups that have spilled. She's so focused on the 3 cups that have spilled that she's forgetting what's left. There's something there. And if she would focus on that, that would take her to where she wants to be. So some of you might have gone through a great deal of grief. This cup reading started with the 8 of Cups, leaving an unfulfilling environment, leaving behind something that was unfulfilling, and no longer abandoning yourself. Feels like there's some type of grief or loss that you might have never fully recovered from. The 5 stages of grief, you might have never gotten to acceptance. I accept what happened in the past. I accept that what happened in the past could not have happened any differently. If you are playing games with yourself, they should have done this and this is what should have happened, that's not acceptance. So you're staying in grief that it could have been anything else. When we accept the past happened exactly how it happened, how it needed to happen, then we can move forward. Once we heal from grief, once we get to that acceptance, then we can start utilizing what we learned from the past, taking the wisdom from it, wringing out, allowing yourself to feel, but not with the story, and taking those emotions and create wisdom from them. If you are stuck in a story of hurt and grief and betrayal for years, for decades, without getting to that point of acceptance, it feels like now's a good time. Feels like you're being invited to heal from this. And if you do not know how to heal from grief, from some type of loss, maybe getting help and assistance. So you can let the past go. So you can start telling a new story. So you can rework things. And if you've been telling the story of hurt and loss the same way, and you don't have a new perspective of it, then you might have concretized your story. And why that might be working against you is because you are the creator of your reality. And so if you want a different story to show up, if you want to experience life differently, then there needs to be a resolution of this so you can tell the story differently. A need to see things differently from a different vantage point. This allows in so much freedom, it feels like, on the other side of seeing things from a new vantage point. Understanding, oh my gosh, I now get why there was a block. I get how me holding a perspective and a story was blocking myself from my own intuition, my own potential, because I need to tell the story in a way that puts me in a positive light. There's a need to let go of the story to heal. Star card. Aquarian energy here. North Star also showing up. Feels like you're being guided, Capricorn, to a new perspective. Wishing on a star. Allowing healing to come through. To and through you and through your experience. Wow. All right. The outcome and advice is the Two of Swords in reverse. It looks like for a long time you might have been in this Two of Swords. She has a blindfold. She could take it off herself. So it feels like she is only allowing herself to see this or that, black or white, right or wrong, because she's crossing her heart. She's trying to protect her heart. And with the Two of Swords showing up in reverse, it looks like you're allowing a different perspective in. No longer in black and white thinking right or wrong, but it feels like there's another perspective that's coming in that creates a lot of clarity where there was once confusion. Something coming through. It feels like there's some for some of you, it feels like it's been impossible for you to make moves to move on after a breakup. It feels like the story is still the same that you told during a breakup around some type of split. And it feels like that might be what we're talking about here. Oh. someone is manifesting. I get the feeling here that there's someone who is on the fence right now in regards to their relationship with you, that they don't perceive that you can see this about yourself. They don't perceive, it feels like this story that you've told is so loud and so concrete that you might be missing someone who is has tried to create a connection, tried to repair. It might not feel like that, how they've shown up, but it feels like this is happening. If this is happening for you, Capricorn, if you're having this awakening and shift, breaking a cycle, being willing to see things about yourself, retelling the story in a different way, because it feels like there's someone who's had it. That the story that you tell to protect yourself also blocks you off from a healthy relationship. You might be so dedicated to that story, to your point of view, that you're missing others' point of view. You might be dismissing. You might be so sure that this is the only perspective that it's hard to have a relationship with you unless you can perceive other perspectives and not need to be right, but see that, wow, there are truths all the way around, and there's an opportunity here to repair, to apologize, to care, because it feels like there's someone, maybe more than one person, that's trying to get you to see something about yourself. And they do want a relationship with you if you can heal from this. Heal from this perspective, from this this is the only right view, instead of softening that perspective, letting the story go and allowing multiple vantage points, multiple perspectives, and that there are truths to those perspectives as well that don't paint you in a positive light. This might be an issue with a child who's very upset with you, or someone who doesn't know how to communicate their upset to you in a way that you can have, but it doesn't mean that their perspective is any less valid. Oof. They're trying to get, some of you are really tied to your perspective, and it's really like attached to, this is the only way to perceive this, and that is causing more grief and sorrow, because you're focusing on the 3 cups that were spilled and not focusing on, it feels like 3 cups spilled, and maybe there's 1 or 2 people who really want a connection, but you're so focused on the story of the 3 cups spilling and what was lost, and stuck in your grief. There's a need to heal from your grief so you can focus on what you have. What is there? Who is wanting to create a connection with you? And with the Death card showing up, there's an end of an established way of being. If you can let that story die and create a new story, a new way of relating. Wow, powerful. All right, Capricorn, that's your reading. I hope that was helpful. Take care.